first started this channel, one of my very first videos was me just really laying the cards out on the table, being very honest, and just letting y'all get to know me as a person. I therefore told you my most embarrassing encounters with people from Phantom. I also told you that I guaranteed there would be a part 2 eventually. Well, I was right. So let's just get this over with, and hopefully it'll help me cope with the massive amount of dread and cringe that I still feel when thinking about it. So this first one isn't too bad, but it still bothers me because, unhealthy self-scrutiny is what I'm best at. I started taking voice lessons every couple of weeks with Anna O'Byrne starting last year. I wanted to get my musical theater skills back up to par since I'd been working, strictly classical for years. It was a great time to get insight on Christine as well, both her character and what they're looking for with casting. And this would be coming from one of the very best and most famous. So I was talking to her about other parts of her career one lesson, and for some reason I got the Mandela effect or something, and falsely remembered her playing Anna in The King and I. I guess it's just because I think she's absolutely perfect for that role. But I said something about it in passing, and she was like, "Oh, do you mean My Fair Lady?" I immediately was like, "Yeah, that's definitely what I meant." So she now probably thinks that I don't know shit about her career outside of Phantom, which is not good. You should never call someone your favorite actor if you only know them in one role. I swear, I'm an Anna fan outside of Phantom as well. I just had a really awkward brain fart. Next came from my time at Actor Therapy. Surprise, surprise. And I may be overreacting on this one a bit, but looking back at it, I just feel... So, a rather well-known former Meg, Deanna Elridge, taught our ballet class. Naturally, I was hella ecstatic when I heard that name because I recognized it immediately. And she and I talked one-on-one a lot before class. She was super sweet and really passionate about Phantom, even after like 5 years in the show. A lot of people start to get burnt out. So seeing someone that kept that enthusiasm and passion was just so nice to see. She shared her story on how she got the role and everything, even taught us the masquerade choreography. She was probably my favorite person that I worked with while I was there. I felt like she genuinely wanted to have these conversations with me, which I don't run into often. But anyway, in those talks, I obviously started ranting a bit, as I do. And I'm just kind of afraid that it all came off like I was a bit of a know-it-all. I don't know. I always worry about that, even here on the channel. I don't want y'all to think that I believe I'm superior in phantomy knowledge, or whatever. That one may have all been entirely in my head, but let's talk about the piece de resistance of embarrassing moments. When I kind of met Sierra Boggess. Notice how I pronounce her name very differently now. Now, I never formally met her because she didn't really do that. I don't know, she never did the group picture or anything like the other people we worked with did. Like Ben Crawford, he actually very kindly, what a gem of a guy, seriously, talked to me one-on-one after my masterclass with him, where I thankfully didn't do terribly. But thing is, all actors and singers are different. Some are just uncomfortable with that kind of thing, and that's okay. I actually later heard that she had some run-ins with really crazy fans that freaked her out. So understandable. But I didn't know that at the time. So, the first thing that went wrong was me trying to approach her and getting shut the f*** down by one of the staff members of the intensive. Not gonna lie, that was a huge faux pas on my part. I should have asked someone first. I accept that. And that's probably why it really makes me cringe. Like, that hurts me deeply, like a year later. I was just so over the moon to be in the same room with the person who gave me the Christine I didn't know I needed. That, unknowingly pointed me in the right direction, on some things that I, was questioning, about the role. I just was not thinking, and, well. Second was, of course, the pronunciation fudge. Normally, I am really good with names, so how I managed to f*** up one of my favorite actresses' names for years is beyond me. But now, I never directly addressed her by name, so I wasn't sure at first, how she even knew that I was a fucking idiot. But later someone told me that they thought that she knew who I was because of the channel. In any other circumstance, I would have been flattered. Instead, I panicked because by this point, I knew that I had f***ed up numerous times publicly for the internet to remember forever. Now you might ask, what makes you think that she knew that you messed up her name, or really cared? I got that vibe because she, during our sessions with her, always managed to work her last name into our talks at times when it wasn't really necessary. Like when mentioning herself, particularly after I asked questions. I definitely got a vibe that she, doesn't really like me too much. I could be completely imagining it and overreacting, but you guys, I die a little more inside every time I think about that encounter. And I literally had to face her daily for a week after all of that, which is, if you recall, exactly my fear. As embarrassing as many of my encounters with people I idolize have been, that one takes the f***ing cake. I cried over this many times. Am I overreacting? Definitely. Should I have let this go by now because there's no way she even remembers me at this point? 100%. But I'm that kind of person that remembers that one awkward thing they did in the 4th grade and still cringes themselves to sleep about it nightly for the rest of their life. There's not a chance in hell I will ever fully let this go. So yeah, Sierra, if you do actually watch, I'm sorry, I'm a dumbass, and I will be thinking about this for the rest of my life. Cool, I hope I get some kind of closure now that I have publicly vented all of this. Doubtful. I love you guys. Just, if anything, take it from me that getting starstruck, it happens, it's normal, you get embarrassed, but you are not alone and you have to just attempt to move forward. I'm just glad I was never super awkward around Kaylee-Ann Voorhees or Rebecca Pitcher. I can hold on to those little rays of redemption. Stay fantastic with a PH and keep your hand at the level of your eyes. Subscribe.